Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. A few of the black men teaching sex skills. Now, this is one of my few response videos. Y'all know I don't really do them, and I actually got another one coming tomorrow. But this is one of the few ones, and this is in response to a video on Kevin Samuels' channel. Shout out Kevin Samuels. Let's talk about sex with Shan Boody, part 1. And specifically something she said around like after the 1420 part of it. Now let me give some background why I'm even responding, because usually, you know me, I ignore a lot of stuff. Well, I ain't going to say something that happened last night. I ain't even going to get into it. Y'all want to hear what I think about it. So here's the thing, right? Here's the whole thing. They talking about, like, they having general conversation about sex. Shan was like, well, who's teaching black men how to be better lovers? Right? And I'm like, what the hell? And I found out about it because I hadn't seen the video. Several people on IG sent me that clip. And indeed, many people made a little meme out of it. They had the clip and then they had my name and several other names on there. Like, if one person is sending it, that's one thing. Well, you get 6 or 7 people who send you the same clip. And indeed, I think somebody tagged her on the clip with my name and a couple other people on it and stuff. Talking about who's teaching black men how to be better lovers. Look, I don't know if she just has a genuine ignorance of who's doing it, because, none of us got 1 million subs and anything like that. But it's definitely we're doing. There's some doing it, bottom line. And I do question one in particular, how come she seemingly forgot that person's name. I'll tell you in a second. And you know me, I don't just say anything. I'll be bringing evidence and stuff, right? Because hold up. See, first of all, even my first video on here was talking about masculine sex appeal. Now, my main thing, I always say, I ain't really a dating coach. I'm more of a sex coach. And I don't get it. I mean, I even just give you a taste of it here. I give you a taste of it here, but anybody who follows me on Rom TV, which in a few weeks is going to have a series, it's going to be called Turn Her Out, which is all about becoming a better lover. And then I got some other stuff on there. And then also my Rom On Demand stuff. And then whoever hits me up on Patreon. Shoot, on my Patreon today, I was just talking about hugs. And anybody who saw that, I said, shoot, you can give a woman an orgasm with a hug. And I'm going to get more into that, without penetration orgasms before, which I've talked about here. For everything I talked about here, I've gotten deeper. I've gotten deeper on it. And in fact, even though I talk about my book, Nice Guys and Players, this the main book people need to be talking about. Sexual chemistry, the whole thing is about it. In fact, I give a very specific technique, a very specific one. I ain't get it from anybody, all the way from Rom. Like Lake Storm Lake. Anybody who's got the book, who's got this book and put it into practice, Lake Storm Lake, just put a 1 in the description box. Just put a 1 in the description box. So I'm definitely talking about it. All right, okay, she might not have heard of me. You know what, that's cool. But there's men out here teaching it. See, I'm going to correct some things. Because we got to. Because, see, here's a problem. I'm just going to say this too often. And, I don't usually go on race on here, but we'll hear some black women say, well, a black man ain't doing this, a black man ain't doing that. Are you looking, or you just want to feel good about that shit? And I really questioned her that, saying, well, who's doing it? Here's a book right here by my associate Shophar, Full Show Energy Network. He has a channel here. I featured him before, shouted him out before, right? And this is Sacred Orgasmic Living. Now, this is a powerful book. Now, see, the issue I have, I presented his first because he interviewed her on a pod, he used to have a, oh man, what's the name of that? Blog Talk series and stuff. He interviewed her. I'll put a link to it in the description box. So how she not know him? Maybe she just forgot. I don't know. But you know what? I ain't really here to jump on it. I'm here to correct something. Because you know what? A lot of people think, well, ain't nobody teaching it. Man, you got a whole subculture of dudes teaching it. Shoot, we know one right here. Scorpio, cousin T-Tall. This is a man who trains male exotic dancers in seduction. That's all part of the sex, because if we're going to talk about sex, it ain't even just about the mechanical act. Because foreplay really starts hours, days, weeks before you actually penetrate. So if you're going to talk about sex, you got to talk about all of it, even from how you stand and how you interacting. That's when the foreplay starts. And shoot, if you know what you doing and stuff, by the time y'all get alone, she already wet. She's already wet. Shoot, you got Scorpio, he's telling stuff. In fact, when I talk about body game, because he's into body game as well, shoot, even more so, he's telling you some specific stuff. The main reason I even talk about body game, because what do I say? What do I stand by? I'll debate anybody on it. The main thing that turns on a woman sexually is the body. That's the main thing. And really, before you even talking about sex, and this is men and women. In fact, I had a request. I don't do requests on here, but if the ladies ask, because I don't have a Patreon for them, I say, okay, I'll do something for them. A young lady asked me, well, okay, can you tell us what makes a woman sexy to a man? I say, all right, I'm going to record that today. It's going to be out next week and stuff. You know? But we're telling you, we're telling you and stuff, especially the men, especially what to do and stuff. Nah, we ain't like major, but let's be real on something with that. What's major for the women out here? Let's be real. I mean, seriously, there's some definite women out there teaching some things, but who's it major with? How many of them who teaching got 1 million followers or something? Like actually teaching some stuff. Because sex is a two-way thing. You know, it ain't just, hey, me and some other fellas, and not even just the ones that's just in my circle that I'm presenting, but some other guys out there, they doing something, okay. But sex is a two-way thing. The women got to know what she doing too. I'm just saying and stuff. And in fact, this is an important book right here. I've talked about this book, Kunyaza. Now, this is powerful, by this brother, Habeeb Akande. And he's the one who he tagged me in a post even talking about it. And Kunyaza, this is from Rwanda in Africa. They all about making a woman squirt. That's the whole thing about it. And he gets into it. He's letting you know. He's telling you the techniques. He does webinars and everything. I'm going to put a link in the description box for his book and everything. You need to be following it. Hey, I'm going to even put his IG in here. Because, shoot, we tell him, what's he doing? And shoot, this dude is international. He's Muslim. He's breaking some stuff down. And he was aware of some guys I didn't even know. So definitely check him out. And then, we got another brother called Stevens Jr., otherwise known as Rakim SoOoO, Finding Male Sexuality. He's giving some sexual development tips and all of that stuff. Because a man has to be developed anyway to have sex. He's teaching. He has a group that he has. Shoot. And one more, and this is just a smattering and stuff. I've always talked about Master Yao and Yamiche Morris, the Holy Grail of orgasm. Shoot. And plus with him, he teaches men how to make a woman orgasm without physically touching them. Let me say that again. He teaches women how to have an orgasm without physically touching them. Anybody who's gone through his courses, he's teaching them. Shophar. He does that. Carl Stevens Jr., he does that. Shoot, Rom can do it, but I like squeezing that nice butt dunk. I just like to touch. I'm just more tactile. I can if I have to, though. But look, the brothers are out there, And like I said, anybody who's followed me, how many times have I talked about sets of 9? Sets of 9. That ain't something I invented, you know, because I'm familiar with Tantra as well. That's not even something I invented. But I've shared it several times. I told people to look it up. And I've, my thing is I talk about development, but also sexual dynamics and stuff. Because even when I talk select and non-select, that's a sexual hierarchy. I'm telling men how to get into that sexual hierarchy. And part of it is the satisfaction. How many videos have I done saying, hey, you got to satisfy the woman sexually? How many videos have I mentioned you got to take your time? How many times have I said you got to start with the breasts? Actually, you do 10 minutes at least. I'm saying a minimum 10 minutes on each, minimum and stuff. And a lot of stuff I don't even like really talk about on here because, well, that's what my Patreon's for and my paid sites are for. And even then, I ain't even really charging a lot. Because on my Patreon, at the highest level, is just $20. $20, the knowledge you get. And I'm constantly getting dudes coming back saying, hey, Rom, oh my goodness. You know? And even some other stuff. There was something else they were talking about in there, and I'm going to call straight bullshit on it. They were talking about like teaching men how to talk dirty and stuff. How come they ain't mention Alan Roger Curry? And I'm going to say they. How come they ain't mention Alan Roger Curry? That dude specialized in talking dirty. He used to get paid money for phone sex and stuff. Anybody want to talk dirty, that's right there. And you know what? And shoot. And he's been in the sexual shadow world, so he's going to know. Because anybody in the shadow world got to know what they doing. You know, and we teaching the guys this, and this is just a smatter. There's another brother up there, I can't remember his name now, but he had a program. I don't know if he even still do it, but he had this program. It was called Stroke Skills. Stroke Skills. Y'all look it up. I haven't heard from that brother in a long time. I gotta look him up. Stroke Skills. You got the men out here teaching it, saying, saying it, but let's be real. Like I said earlier, it ain't just the men. I mean, it's not, ain't as big, but it's growing. But we can say the same thing about women. We don't want the women just to sit there. How many women teaching real sexual skills? And they out there, but how big are they? They are out there. I give it to them. And stuff. The sex is an exchange. Sex is an exchange. Seriously. But I'm going to tell you what. And here's the thing I had to respond to. Because like I said, anytime, if one person had just tagged me in that post, I'd have been like, oh, okay. Which I said at first. But then when I said 6 or 7, let's just say 7. 6 more people tagging me up, hit me up private, say, man, Uncle Rom, you see this? I was like, what the hell? And I was just like, look, the dudes are out there. Like I said, she interviewed with this brother. He interviewed her. She didn't know what he did for a living. This dude just go in the rooms, like, take a nap or something, make a woman come. I know some people say, man, that's crazy. I'm going to see if I can find a video of this Tantra Master. His name's Shantam Nityama. I've talked about him before. Some dudes got a little upset about it. Let me see if I can find him, like, demonstrating it. So I'm like, look, let's just be real. Let's just be real. And I'll say this like this for anybody. Before you make a statement, do the research at least. Now, if she had just said, you know what, it's just how she said it, how she said it, because like I say, there's a lot of stuff I'll just say, look, I don't know, but just how she said it. And I've heard women, not even just on that, I remember I've talked about, like, on my business channel before, and just in life, period, about some black men making over 6 figures and being successful. I've had pushback from women on that. Ain't no success. Ain't no success. Like, come on, man. You got some brothers doing everything, and especially this. And there's a good size. It's a growing movement. It needs to be more, but it's a growing movement, and it's working for people. All right. So I needed to share all that. Rom needs to share all that. All right, and like I said, I'm gonna put the links. I'm gonna put links to everybody's books and everything. It's going to be a ton of links. It's going to be a ton of links. All right. But look, here's the thing, especially for some men who really want to get better and learn, we're your huckleberry. We got the information. Anybody want to learn and stuff. So, you know, because I know like with Master Yao, yeah, I've witnessed some of the men he's helped transform. Let's just put it like this, because you know there's always that big talk about looks and all of that. These guys ain't fashion bottles, but they tearing up some women. And let me be clear, because she had said something in the video about that. When I say tearing up, come on, man, it's the slang, satisfying, making them holler. And let's put it like that, making them holler. Making them holler. I mean, come on now. Master, y'all got a whole book on that. I mean, he gets deep. Shoot, he gets deep. I mean, we hit on different levels. Whatever somebody, whether it's like physically becoming more appealing to how you behave. Even when I'm talking about masculinity, that's still related. That's still not just related to what men do, you know, out here in the world, you know, creating their sovereignty. But if a masculine man deal with a woman, that can satisfy her a lot, because there's a very energetic part to sex. It's energetic. That's why a woman, she can get with two guys, they physically similar. One of them, she'll be like, you finished yet? And then the other one, she's doing that thing from Close Encounters of the Third Time, talking about ow, 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 and stuff. She be in just constant orgasm and stuff. Be at that point, she can't even talk. Let me give y'all a real tip. Fellas, you having sex with a woman and she can have a coherent conversation, you better do some work. And let me just give you this tip. Just in general, this is just a general thing. Just take your time, man. Don't rush. Don't try to bust right away. Seriously, don't try to bust right away. And you actually, while you bringing her pleasure, that's actually bringing you more pleasure. Think about it. You got that fine woman right there. Why would you want that shit to be a minute? Shoot. Take your time. Take your time. Shoot, you want all that pleasure you get. I want an hour and a half of pleasure. Pleasure. And plus, here's one last thing. Because I know some guys will say, well, what they doing for us? You give that woman that pleasure, she don't have a problem getting up making you that ham sandwich. Or tofu sandwich if you're vegan. She don't have a problem cooperating. Trust me. Shoot, it's like you put $100 into a savings account or some type of investment, get $1,000 at the end of the month. I've been telling y'all. I talked about that in my book, A Player's Eyes. The real secret, that drug called pleasure. So we've been doing it. We've been doing it, all right? So anyway, that's all I got for today. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.